We've said it before on this channel, but I'll say it again. It's literally over for Justin Trudeau. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I know somebody who didn't have a wonderful weekend, Justin Trudeau. Well, at least when it came to looking at his approval ratings in places like Toronto that are mostly liberal-based. Now, we're going to get into what happened this weekend and what's happened over the last week in relations to the UFC. But first, we have this video from this week's sponsor, Straight Goods Clothing. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Straight Goods Clothing. Born from a former police officer of 17 years that left his post due to corruption and political cowardice, Straight Goods has gone on to rally thousands across North America in taking a stand against corruption. This clothing is made by high-quality standards and 100% cotton to ensure absolute satisfaction with your purchase. This Canadian-run company also donates 10% of all profits to help and assist with veterans, and that is why Unacceptable Fringe has locked arms to bring our very own line from the company as well. By purchasing, you're not only supporting a local business, but also helping to assist our veterans. Remember, staying silent and doing nothing only allows for the chaos in this country to continue. By putting on something that's bold and peaceful to make a statement is the only way that we can stand up, and what better way to say it than by donning some straight goods, link below in the description. Now, just a friendly reminder to everybody on this channel that Straight Goods will be bringing out a monthly limited edition Unacceptable Fringe shirt, and I will be giving away one of those shirts to a lucky channel member every month here on the channel. So in order to get into that draw, all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, click that membership button and join the channel. On to with what happened at the UFC this weekend. Now, if you've been following Sean Strickland, he's of course made a huge uproar when it comes to Justin Trudeau and his stance on the pandemic. Of course, we heard Sean Strickland at his press conference last week calling out the woke reporter from, I believe it was the Canadian Press, who Sean Strickland snapped back with asking if he was one of the people who stood with Trudeau, if he was, in agreement with locking people down and shutting down their lives for several years during, of course, the pandemic. And then he came back with some very strong language about freezing bank accounts and his position on Justin Trudeau. Now, president and owner of the UFC, Dana White, has also come back to say he doesn't put a leash on his fighters, nor should he. If you follow the UFC, of course, you notice that guys like Donald Trump frequent the UFC. They believe in good old-fashioned American sports, and that's what Ultimate Fighting is. It's a form of sport. It's very physical, and I couldn't be happier to support the UFC as Sean Strickland having his match in Toronto over the weekend. Now, what I wanted to show here and highlight is the reception that was given, and it was one of the things that blew my mind altogether is that Toronto, when you look at Olivia Chow, when you look at everything that's gone on in that city, it's a very left-leaning town. When we look at installed governments, we look at the average population in Canada, the per capita, that usually Toronto is part of that group of people, we'll say, that's responsible for deciding pretty much who the next Prime Minister of Canada is going to be. Now, we've seen Pierre Poilievre gaining in the polls. We've seen that actually at some points the NDP is polling higher than the Liberals. I've also heard statements from people like Stephen Harper saying that Justin Trudeau is on his way out, that this is it. And of course, the reaction from this audience at UFC and on the weekend, well, this says it all. Now, just a reminder, we usually don't have any coarse language here on the channel, but again, of course, because it's Trudeau, a lot of people have negative things to say. So just if you watch this around your kids, just keep in mind, there's a little bit of language. Sean Strickland doesn't hide his opinions very well either. But let's take a listen to the audience first as these chants broke out across the arena this weekend. That happened, but we got Joe Rogan's take on the situation on his podcast, because Joe Rogan's very close to the UFC as well. Let's take a listen to what Joe Rogan...
Fuck Trudeau.
I was at the UFC.
Yelling, fuck Trudeau.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
That guy's
Canada,
a piece of shit.
Canada, get your shit together. Come back. Come back to what you used to be. I mean,
He's got a good standpoint. He hits the nail on the head. Canada's really fallen far from grace. And again, a lot of people, when it comes time for elections, when it comes down to the voting, people say, I don't understand the point. I don't see why I should vote. I don't see why I should get out there. Well, I mean, Justin Trudeau is completely oblivious when it comes to the fact that he's still going to run. And I think that he wholeheartedly believes that this little pocket of Canada that usually decides based again on per capita of residents in the country, he seems to think that again that portion of Quebec and eastern lower end of Ontario is going to elect him in again. And I'd have to say his hubris is a little full of it. He's I don't think he stands a snowball's chance in hell, if anything, just to be believed by the polling. Now, we've talked on the channel multiple times again about tomfoolery going on in an upcoming election, and I have no doubts that that is going to happen. In fact, I'll be having a video later this week talking about where I think that's going to come into play. But this posting, even from the pleb, now, I believe that Strickland lost his match over the weekend, but the reception again in Toronto, completely uncanny. Let's take a listen to what Strickland had to say when he was finished his match.
So, is this the fight that you expected? Was there anything that surprised you about Drake Duplessis here? I called it. From the day one, it was going to be a fucking war. Hats off to the new champ. Fucking, it was a goddamn war. I'm salty, I'm going to say I won that, but maybe I was being a fucking pussy. Before I really get this for a sec, Canada, I fucking love you guys. You welcome me. I feel like you guys are my family. I told you I was fucking bleeding for you, and I bled for you, and I would do it any day of the fucking week. Let's run it back. Congrats, champ. You're the man. I'm out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the former world champion, Sean Strickland.
Sean Strickland, say what you will about Strickland. I mean, he's got a bit of a mouth on him, and that's okay, because rightfully so. I believe that the way he speaks are the way Canadians feel these days. And I think Strickland really got it out there when it's nice to see that even people in professional sports will take a stance. They'll sit and speak their mind when it comes to the government. I think that his take was purely based, and I think that this is what a hero looks like. This is what an icon looks like. A lot of people said, well, he lost his match. This is going to be the end of Strickland. I disagree. I think that Strickland, if he continues to speak up for Canada especially, I think he's going to be a mainstay in the UFC. I think we're going to see a lot of him, and this definitely won't be the last that we hear on his positions on Justin Trudeau. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if he were to appear on Joe Rogan based on the viral nature of his press conference taking off. I'd sure like to sit and hear, an hour-long discussion about his views and his opinions on the whole situation. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Did you watch the fight? Do you think UFC is where it's at? I know a lot of people in my crowd don't really watch this kind of stuff. And again, my apologies for the language in the video. We usually don't do that on the channel. But again, I can't filter out what people say because we're all about freedom of speech here on the channel. And again, I think he was saying what people wanted him to say. If it's your first time to the channel, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure you click your bell for notifications and join us here every Sunday night on the channel for our weekly wrap, where we talk about everything that's happened in the week prior, everything coming up in the week ahead, and a little bit of back and forth with the community, Q&A, and I get to hear from you guys outside of these videos. I look forward to that time of the week more than anything else, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there, and I'll catch you, I guess, on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great day. We'll take care. See you later.